Hey guys, James with TFBTV. Many of you may recognize my friend Luis from Holosun, and what I've said before in the past, Luis, and you know what I'm going to say already, I've never really trusted foreign-made products, and even when you guys first came out, I was like, I'm never going to buy this stuff, and now we've gone back a couple of years, you've turned me on to a product that works, that I like. And you have now something new that you guys, it's coming out for rifles, for carbines. We've had it on an MP5 because we've been here at WAFT, West Orlando Firearms Training, and we've been running it on SP5s, SP5Ks, full auto MP5s. I never even knew this was coming, which first of all, Luis, why didn't I get a phone call? You know, I'm gonna pretend my feelings aren't hurt. But just tell us, because this is the first time I laid eyes on it when I just got here, you know, a day or two ago. What do we have?
Well, I mean, you know, again, you know, glad to have you have us back on board. Unfortunately, last time for a Gun Fest, we were able to talk about previous products. We didn't have anything really new, so.
Still got like 200,000 views, you know.
So, yeah. Here's your surprise and a little bit of a makeup.
Yeah.
So, so later on this year, we're going to be releasing what we're calling the A.E.M.S system, the Advanced Enclosed Micro Sight. So, you know, a lot of guys are already familiar with the Holosun technology, you know, our solar failsafe capability, multi-reticle, that type of stuff, battery life, and so on and so forth. But we kind of wanted to approach a little bit different as far as on the rifle side. We know pistol optics right now are really huge, but, you know, we don't want to neglect the rifle. And, you know, the main premise behind this unit is we wanted to combine basically two schools of thought. You know, when I've talked to a lot of guys, I kind of see two things happening. Either A, guys are about high speed, low drag. They want to run a super small system, super lightweight, want to shave those micro ounces. The usual problem with those type of systems is windows are very small. And then we have the other group of guys that, hey, we want big field of view. I want to be able to see clear, nice big clear glass. And that's fantastic, but usually those type of systems are very big, bulky, heavy, suck up a lot of real estate space, especially something like on the MP5. If you needed to try to mount something else, you know, you put a larger system, 30mm tube, something to that effect, and you just don't have the space. So, you know, over the trends that we've been seeing, we started doing some of the square optics like our 512C, then we have the 508 and the 509s on the pistol side, and we're seeing those are doing really good. So we wanted to kind of try to merge those two concepts together. So we were able to come out with the A.E.M.S system that it's physically smaller than like a standard 20mm micro system, but this is giving me almost the same field of view as like our popular 510s or our 512s.
And it looks a lot like it, just kind of like a little bit, you know, the shape is different. What are we talking in terms of construction here?
So 7075 aluminum housing, so, you know, it's a very well-built product, pretty tough. You know, one of the cool things with this system too, from an aesthetics aspect, we now integrated flip caps in there. We were already hearing some of the initial feedback. The guys didn't even notice that there was flip caps on there because they're like, hey man, we can see nice and clear through them. But if you're in a situation that, hey, you get mud or junk on there and you want to quickly clean it out, or you can just flip the units off. Otherwise, they'll stay fully integrated. They follow all the contours and the lines of the system. So it's a really neat, compact system.
I didn't know that those were on there yesterday until somebody came and like kind of showed me. So what are the little flip caps made out of versus what's your main element here in the back made out of? There we go.
So, you know, our on the red dot itself, everything here is glass as normal, but we are going to opt for a plastic polycarbonate style lens cap. And that's really because it's just going to take more of abuse, especially the flipping on and off, or if something were to get caught accidentally. And the nice thing too is if for some reason somebody has a damage on the flip caps, they will be end user serviceable as well. So you'll be able to replace those units without a problem.
Is that what these screws are here
That's
in the back?
correct.
So
yeah.
That's kind of cool. It's like an insurance policy. So if I just want that clarity of glass, I can just run, or maybe even just take them off if I'm that kind of guy.
I mean, it's definitely something. It's not going to impede the unit in any way. So I mean, if that's somebody wishes, I mean, they definitely could. Might not be aesthetically appealing, but
right. I ran it all day yesterday. I didn't really have a problem with clarity or blooming or flaring or anything, because I didn't even know they were there.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even know. But I guess if you're like a real glass snob and you just want that crisp glass, you can just take those off. But I'd leave them on. I mean,
yeah.
You know, if it were me. Then I see we've got the solar array up top.
Yeah, we still have our solar failsafe capability, so the unit still has that feature. Unit still has our shake-awake technology as well. It's going to come as a multi-reticle system, so 2 MOA dots, 65 MOA ring. You'll have the ability to run in any of the 3 options without any issue. So all of the normal tech that everybody's used to from Holosun, it's in here. But again, the main purpose on this unit was to be able to find that physical housing package and try to merge the best of small, really micro systems and some of the best features of the really big systems and try to merge it together. One of the nice things too with this particular unit, again, 510, 512, being a fully enclosed system, which is really popular. But one of the nice advantages, this particular system right now has actually a low mount integrated that we made specifically for the event. The unit will actually ship out with a standard lower 1/3 mount, but it is what I call a traditional 2-piece design. So you will have the ability to change out the mounts to adjust the height to depending on whatever weapon system that you're running. Unfortunately, the 512 does not have that. The 512 was designed as a little bit more of a stronger system in the sense of it's a full body. Everything is integrated in one piece. So the only issue is if you need to have that adjustability depending on the weapon systems you want to mount it. The 512 won't necessarily allow that. This one will.
What are we talking in terms of battery life? Because that's going to be the next question. Everybody's hearing about the features, the construction. They want to know, I mean, look, if I put some batteries in here, is this going to last a month? Like, how long is this going to last?
It'll be a little bit longer than a month, depending on the reticle you're running. So CR2032 battery, it'll be on a tray system right here, so easily removable. You're looking at about setting 6 of 12, which is what we use to measure our battery life, about 50,000 hours of continuous battery life if you're running a dot-only reticle. If you're running the ring reticle system, you're looking at about 20,000 hours of continuous battery life. And again, that has nothing to do with shake-awake technology, the auto-on and auto-off system. That has nothing to do with solar failsafe.
You're just talking continuous on.
That's correct.
Then the next question is going to be, obviously, shake-awake, can I customize it? Like, can I turn it off? Can I disable it?
On our shake-awake systems, default settings usually anywhere between about 10 to 15 minutes. And then usually you can change it to a 1-hour setting, a 12-hour setting, or if you want to ROM pull peel it, set it and forget it, and never have to worry about it shutting off, you can override it and shut that feature off as well.
Speaking of, we talked a little bit at Gunfest about how you guys were saying like features, you have to configure a certain number of features into an optic, like you can only get so many features before it becomes unworkable. What kind of features are we looking at? Obviously, you said you can change the reticle. We can go from circle dot to dot only. You can change the shake awake. What other customizations are we getting on?
And then you have the solar failsafe system. So the solar failsafe does 2 main things. The primary purpose is the solar failsafe, which is exactly as we call it. If you have a battery failure, as long as you have sufficient lighting, it doesn't matter if it's natural or artificial, the unit can power itself. And then any of our systems that have the solar failsafe have what we call 2 modes of operation, what we call manual and automatic. Manual mode is like pretty much every red dot you've played with. We have brightness control settings. You play with those, put it where you want, it'll stay there unless you physically change it. But if you run it in automatic mode, the unit, depending on the ambient light in the area you're working, it will auto brighten or auto dim itself, depending to correlate with those surroundings.
Very cool. So the solar panel on top, that not only serves to provide additional auxiliary power to the optic,
correct,
but it'll also help you adjust for ambient light.
Yeah, so it's a power source and it also works as a sensor.
Luis, as usual, you really know your stuff. So we've got everything down. So the big questions, you know them, the big 2. How much and when?
So when we're looking at about an October 1st release date, that's what we're shooting for. And if everything goes according to plan, we're looking at about a $399 street price on the unit.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that about falls in line with what I would expect from you guys. Always a good product at a great price. So, and I got to say, so what was the acronym for this, the A.E.M.S?
Yes, so this is the first time we're actually getting away from the traditional model numbers.
I like that. It's easier for me to keep up with.
We wanted to do something different, so this will be referred to as the A.E.M.S system, A.E.M.S, so Advanced Enclosed Microsight.
You know, if you make a smaller version, you have my full permission to call it like the junior A.E.M.S, and you can call it the James. I'm totally okay with that.
Not a problem.
Thanks a ton, as usual.
Brother,
thank you to WAF for hosting us. Thank you for HK for putting this event on. And guys, thank you so much as usual for watching. Take care.
Thank you.